Welcome to Gearheads World, where we show you good times, all kinds of racing, all kinds of cruising, all kinds of wrenching, and everything else gearhead. Howdy, Chuck Fasst here, trying to attempt another driveway repair. This time we're on a 35th anniversary 02 Camaro, and it's a drop top and it has separated from the glass, something that happens. We just want to get it through the winter if possible. There's been some tearing here. We'll take a look at it. It's lifted from the corners and torn away a little bit in the corners, in the bottom corners, so it looks like a level of difficulty here. And we still have the mildew. It's late, it's fall, and the rains are coming here in Portland, and it never even, mildew never even evaporated off the car all day long. So, what to do? Some people have glued these back together. Still going to be a leaker probably. Simsolve. We're going to start by wiping this area down with this stuff to see if I can get it clean enough for some kind of adhesive. Once I figure out what kind of adhesive I want to try on this. This stuff is working pretty good. It's making it pretty clean down here. That'll help. This probably is the original top. And it's not ripped elsewhere, but it's looking a little on the ragged side. Chances are this will end up with a new top. But for now, I want to try this because I always like to try to fix it first. Okay, masking tape on the outside and on the inside. I'm leaving about a ½ inch of glass right here. And so I've got the seat folded down in the back, and we can see the problem's much clearer from inside here where it's torn at the corners there. So we are going to try to squirt some of this on if it will squirt. Not coming out of there very good. The thing about these glues like this. Okay, probably the next thing we see get done will be installation of another convertible top. Not all that expensive out there, but we'll see what happens here, and we'll let you know. So I cleaned it up, got all that stuff off of there, sprayed that stuff in. That might not be the best stuff to use. I'm sure there's better stuff, but we'll try it. That stuff can be cleaned off, and if necessary, go pick up some other kind of adhesive sealant. This is what I had, so this is what I used. Okay, here we go. It has been several weeks since I used that stuff on here, and it's rained heavily. And I can see that it's lifting in some areas.
Road course first.
Yep.
And what did we drive?
We didn't drive Camaros.
No.
So I'm going to try to run a beat of this stuff here.
Focus of this. You can't get better engineering validation. You just can't do it. It's not someone who's just.
It's coming out real nice. I would have rather had black, but I'm not going to be choosy here. Okay, I'm going to hold this down.
A drag strip, of course, especially heavy.
This one section right here is lifting. So good. Well, okay, here it is tomorrow now, and the stuff I put on has dried. and it appears that it has turned white. Something I didn't expect, so I knew I wanted to use black on this, but I didn't have it, so something to keep in mind. The places where I had the tape on, it hasn't turned white yet because it didn't set, like over here. Anyway, I got a rock sitting on this to help push it down some. But I'm going to attack these corners right here. I'm going to see if I can do a little help here with just a little something. We'll see how it works out. It's going to be an experiment. So we're just going to get in here, and yes, it's not hard to see from this side. There it is right there. So I'm going to put a little tape on here with some of this sealant right across there. Okay, I stuck a big old gob of it on here and a couple pieces of tape, and I'm going to leave it open on the other side so the air can get to it so it can dry. Now I'm going to dab a little more right in here just to help seal it from this end. Yeah. And just let that be. Okay, I've fixed both corners. I've daubed in a little more sealant along these other areas here, and we're going to let everything dry up. Hopefully it won't rain today, and we shall see if this is a new car. My cat hasn't thoroughly checked it out yet, so she wants to see what this new car is all about. This might be her first time she's climbed in there. I don't know. You're going to break it in for me, Keeper? You're going to check it all out, make sure it's good, make sure everything is admissible, passable. Careful where you put your nose. I don't put it in any of that glue I just put up there, alright? Because we don't need... Yeah, you got your nose right there in it too, don't you? Oh, hey, you don't have to be crawling back in there, that's for sure. That's in behind the convertible top or somewhere. I wouldn't suggest going in there, Keep. No, not a good place to go. Yeah. I don't know what you find so interesting about this back here. Well, maybe you should, what are you doing pacing back and forth like that? Well, there's her scar. She wears that scar around on her haunch. That's when she was lost for 10 days in the middle of winter. Some years ago, came back with all her feet all, foot pads all turned red. God knows where she went in the freezing and the hail. Keep her. Come here, get out of there. Jesus. Alright, get your nose off of that stuff. Come on, let's get out. Come on, Keeper. Hey, I'm gonna drag you by the tail. Okay, here we are back at this. I did this last winter, and this was a piecemeal repair that I did on the back of this thing to try to help with the leaks. You can see that I unintentionally did use two different products, one clear, one that turns white. Neither one of which would be the ideal product, so don't use them. That's why I make these videos. Don't use what I used, use something better. But anyway, you can see where they lifted up. So I've been bailing water out of the back of my passenger seat, which I guess is the best way to get water if you're going to have it anywhere. And I've been doing that through the winter. Hasn't been that bad. I'm not complaining too much. I'm just glad to be able to drive this thing around. So I'm going to now, it just so happens I have some Permatex that it didn't get ruined in the cold snap. So I'm going to try to use this stuff. Regular old black silicone. I want some black in here. I'm going to try to put it on there. Probably going to have to get in here and just something. Nope, it actually works. I can't believe that. How many times does silicone work, right? I haven't used this stuff in I don't know how long. I'm going to start here in the corner. These corners actually look pretty good. As you recall, I used some put some sealer up in there, and I put some duct tape behind it to hold it in place. It actually seems to have worked out all right. don't know if I have enough of this stuff. The idea is I'm going to make one pass here along the edge and try to get it to seal this other sealant that's kind of lifting off. Alrighty then, I got a couple pieces of duct tape up there holding a couple of the spots where it was lifting. I'm just going to let that sit. Hopefully the rain will hold off tonight so that the silicone can set up, and then we'll report back.
Here's Futurecast. This is the center of low pressure right here. We'll keep an eye on that. But tomorrow, more showers very much like today. Same thing on Thursday.
Alrighty then, we'll go ahead and wrap this job up. We've had a week of record rainfall, and we'll take a final look at the seal job I did here. I'm going to go ahead and stick some newspaper down here. When you're trying to dry out a wet carpet, that's the best thing. Stack newspapers in there, and you can wick up all that wetness that's in your carpet. Dry it out quicker. Anyway, it's holding good. This thing still leaks. When it rains heavily, it gets down in there somewhere, somehow. I'm not about to crawl underneath and look around right now, but after some heavy rains, I've heard it sloshing around back here, and then after I get rolling, it evidently splashes out of wherever it collects down below. Anyway, you clean that up, and you can make a pretty nice looking bead there if you work at it. So, obviously there have been a number of techniques I used here that didn't work so well, so don't do it that way. You know, the best way is to go out and get yourself a good, some good outdoor sealant, some black caulking sealant you can put in a gun and just run a nice bead across there. That's the way I'd want to do it. Anyway, if you can improve upon this, leave a comment, alright? Later on. Alrighty then, I hope we've been of some help to you. Till then.